Welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Steve Leibowitz, and coming up in today's broadcast, Israeli researcher held captive by pro-Iranian militia in Iraq. Israel insists she's no Mossad agent. Defense Minister Gallant touts the success of Jenin op, but confirms that most terrorists managed to hide or run away. And British broadcaster BBC issues a rare apology for slandering the Israeli army. The IDF struck terrorist targets in Lebanon today after 2 mortars were fired toward northern Israel. The 2 mortars were fired from southern Lebanon toward Israel this morning, one of them landing in Lebanese territory and the second near a disputed area at the border. An explosion was heard along the border fence. Lebanese terrorists last fired rockets at Israel in April, when 3 Israelis were injured and a number of buildings were damaged after an intense barrage. The IDF said that it hit the area from where the rockets were launched with 15 artillery shells. There were no claims of responsibility for the mortar fire and no immediate comment from the Lebanese army or the UNIFIL peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon. It's been revealed that Israeli researcher Elizabeth Tzurkov is being held hostage by an Iraqi Shiite militia linked to Iran. The Prime Minister's office confirmed that Tzurkov is being held, issuing a statement saying she is alive and we hold Iraq responsible for her safety and well-being. Tzurkov, age 36, is a doctoral student at Princeton University. She entered Iraq months ago on her Russian passport to do research for her studies. According to her family and people with knowledge of her case, she was grabbed in Baghdad by the Khatib Hezbollah militia after leaving a coffee shop in the Iraqi capital in late March. Refuting rumors in the Arab media, a senior Israeli official told reporters Tzurkov is absolutely not a member of the Mossad, period, exclamation point. The IDF may need to return to Jenin. That's the word from Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, summing up the anti-terror operation in the northern Samaria city. Gallant claimed that most of the terrorists managed to hide or run away. Speaking after the conclusion of the anti-terror operation in Jenin, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said that the IDF had achieved success, but may need to carry out 1 or 2 additional raids into Jenin to fully pacify the area. Gallant said that the IDF's biggest victory was destroying and removing terror infrastructure and huge quantities of weapons. 19 terrorists were killed and others arrested, but Gallant confirmed that half of the 300 terror fighters in Jenin hid or fled. It negates their narrative of being brave fighters who could truly challenge the IDF, but additional operations may be necessary to deal with them. Gallant and IDF sources expressed hope that the Palestinian Authority would soon be able to take better charge of Jenin and calm the situation. But not likely anytime soon. On the ground in Jenin, angry crowds of Palestinians confronted senior Palestinian Authority figures, accusing them of weakness after one of the largest Israeli military operations in Judea and Samaria. At a funeral for 10 of the dead terrorists, 3 senior leaders of the PA were forced to leave after being confronted with a crowd of thousands, including dozens of gunmen chanting, "Get out." The BBC has issued an apology after its news anchor, in an interview with former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, said that the IDF is happy to kill children. The BBC apology for the anchor's comment came following many complaints about the interview dealing with Israel's just completed anti-terror operation in Jenin. Here's the comment by Anjana Gadgil and Bennett's response.
Terrorists, but children. The Israeli forces are happy to kill children.
You know, it's quite remarkable that you'd say that, because they're killing us. Now, if there's a 17-year-old Palestinian that's shooting at your family, Anjana, what is he?
The BBC issued the apology saying, while this was a legitimate subject to examine in the interview, we apologize that the language used in this line of questioning was not phrased well and was inappropriate. But it also backed BBC coverage of events in Jenin, saying, these events have been covered in an impartial and robust way. And just 2 days after the terrorist car ramming attack in Tel Aviv, residents near the scene are trying to get their lives back to normal. ILTV's Ariel El-Achiani spoke to witnesses.
I'm here on Pinkus Rosen Street in Tel Aviv, where just 2 days ago a Palestinian terrorist rammed his car into innocent Israeli civilians sitting right where I'm standing now. He drove his vehicle down this road, rammed it into the bus station, where he then exited and began to stab people passing by. So just 2 days after the attack, how do you feel being here now?
I'm working here in this building. We was shocked. The terrorists just ran over the bus station, ran over a lot of people, came out of the window of the car and began to stab people. Everyone was shocked. A lot of people began to cry and was panic.
So just 2 days after the attack, how do you feel being here now?
A little off-putting. It's too close to home.
I mean, I'm American, but Israelis have a mentality of going on as usual, and I love it. And yeah, I think everything will be okay and hoping for the best.
It's very sad that this is our reality, to deal with all this terror attack.
Following the car ramming, the terrorist exited the vehicle and attempted to stab people sitting at the cafe right behind me. Fortunately, an Israeli passing by managed to neutralize the terrorist, preventing him from causing further damage. Day-to-day life, do you feel scared? Do you feel safe? How do you feel being in Tel Aviv?
I mean, you don't think about it in the day-to-day because of how casual it is.
It's scary sometimes, but I think the beautiful thing about Israel is that you get up and you continue on until the next time.
Very stressful. We never feel safe. You never know when and where it can come across your day. Even here, everyone think they are safe, and suddenly it came just under your building, a couple meters from you.
So as you can see, only 2 days since the attack, but this is Israel, and we have no other choice but continue with our lives as normal.